You've never loved anyone, and everyone thinks you're strong because of it. But the truth is you're rotting from the inside. While others suffer for love, you suffer from its absence. You know what the difference is. Those who love and lose can start over. You don't even know where to start, because the fear of never having loved is worse than the fear of losing someone. You see people crying over exes, people suffering from betrayal, people recovering from breakups, and you think, I'm better off this way. But at night, when you lie down alone, you feel an emptiness that has no name, a hole that won't close, because it's not loneliness, it's absence of life. You say you don't need anyone, that love is weakness, that you're enough for yourself. But Napoleon Hill discovered something brutal. What you fear, you attract. And you're so afraid of loving that you've programmed your mind to confirm that love is danger. Every door you close, every person you push away, every "I'm not ready" is just more proof you were right. But what if you weren't protecting yourself? What if you were just killing yourself slowly? Because some people die without ever having lived, and you might be one of them. What kills more, the broken heart, or the heart that never beat for anyone? This has a name: self-sabotage through fear. Napoleon Hill studied this for decades. He discovered that the human mind turns fear into reality. And you did exactly that with love. You don't avoid relationships by choice. You avoid them because your mind is programmed to. Every time someone gets close, an alarm goes off. Danger, run, protect yourself, and you obey. You make up excuses. They're not the right person. It's not the right time. I need to focus on myself. But the truth is different. The truth is, you're so afraid of being vulnerable that you'd rather starve emotionally than risk being rejected. And that's not strength. It's cowardice disguised as control. You know where this started? Maybe you saw someone suffer for love, your parents fighting, someone being betrayed, a mother crying, a father disappearing. And there, as a child, you made a silent promise: this will never happen to me. And you kept it, but the price was too high. You became an expert at pushing people away, at sabotaging before it gets real, at cutting off any feeling that starts to grow, because deep down, you believe love is guaranteed loss. Napoleon Hill called this a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're so afraid of losing that you never let anything begin. And so, you lose anyway. You don't lose the person. You lose yourself. You lose years. You lose the chance to be whole. And the worst part, you know this. You feel time passing. You see everyone else living, failing, succeeding, suffering, loving. And you just watch, as if life were a movie, and you were just the audience. You think you're in control, but you're trapped. You think you're protecting yourself, but you're killing yourself. The illusion is simple. If I don't love, I don't suffer. Sounds logical, sounds safe, but it's a lie, because you suffer every day, just in a way nobody sees. Nobody sees you crying over someone, but you cry over the lack of someone. You convinced yourself that love is weakness, that needing someone is defeat, that being self-sufficient is victory. But look at your life now. Do you have everything under control? Are you at peace? Or are you just numb, anesthetized, alive, but not living? The truth nobody told you. Chosen loneliness hurts more than rejection, because rejection passes, loneliness from fear. That follows you to the end. You spent years building this armor, saying no before hearing yes, running before being left, ending before beginning. And you called it emotional intelligence, maturity, self-care. But God sees it differently. He sees a locked heart, a child afraid to live, someone who prefers the prison of safety to the risk of freedom. You're not protected, you're imprisoned, and the key is in your hand, but you're afraid to turn it. You made it this far because something inside you woke up, because you're tired of living halfway, of watching life pass by while pretending everything's fine. If you want to understand why you are the way you are, why you repeat the same patterns, and what God is trying to teach you through this pain, click the button right now and subscribe. Here, every video is a door that opens. It's not empty preaching. It's psychology that explains, faith that transforms. God didn't give you this fear to punish you. He allowed it to wake you up, to show you that you were dying of thirst while refusing water. The Bible says in 1 John 4:18, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear." Did you read that? Perfect love casts out fear. It doesn't hide it, doesn't coexist with it, casts it out. But you did the opposite. You let fear cast out love, and now you live in an emotional desert, thinking it's a refuge. God never wanted you to live like this. He didn't create you to be an island, to be self-sufficient, to be enough on your own. He created you for connection, for vulnerability, to depend, trust, risk, and yes, to love. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding." You know what that means? That you can't control everything. That trusting your own understanding brought you here, alone, safe, but empty. God is calling you to something greater. It's not about finding the perfect person. It's about you stopping running from yourself, about facing the mirror you've avoided for years, because the problem was never love. It was the fear of discovering you don't know how to love, that you don't know how to surrender, that you don't know how to be weak. And God wants to teach you this, not through sermons, but through the courage to try, to fail, to rise, to live. He didn't take love from your life. You never let it in. And God is waiting for you to open that door, because on the other side, it's not just someone, it's you, whole, alive, finally free. Now comes the part you don't want to hear, but that you need, because understanding the pain isn't enough. You need to act. First action, stop romanticizing your loneliness. Stop calling fear wisdom. Stop calling running away self-care. Call it by its real name, cowardice. Because you need to wake up. Sounds harsh. You need to feel the ground beneath your feet. You spent years convincing yourself you were fine alone, that you didn't need anyone, that love was a distraction. But look where that got you. Today, you're going to do something simple, but brutal. You're going to write on a piece of paper, "I'm afraid to love because," and you're going to complete it. No filter, no lies, no excuses. Because I saw my father abandon my mother. Because I was rejected as a child. Because I'm afraid I'm not enough. Because I'd rather die alone than risk suffering. Write it all, and then read it out loud, to yourself, in the mirror. It will hurt. It will burn. It will feel ridiculous. But that's where healing begins. Because you can't defeat an enemy you can't see. And your greatest enemy isn't love. It's the fear you feed every day. With every no, every escape, every closed door. Second action, pray. Not that memorized prayer, not that automatic "Our Father." Pray for real. Tell God, "I'm afraid, and I don't know how to live without this fear." He won't judge you. He already knows. But you need to say it out loud. Because when you admit the truth, fear loses half its power, and God enters the other half to teach you how to live free. Now, if you got distracted, come back here with me and pay attention to this, because this is the most important part of everything I've said so far. Third action, accept an invitation. Any invitation, a coffee, a dinner, a conversation. Even if you're not interested, it's not about finding the right person. It's about you relearning how to be present, to look someone in the eyes, to not run when the conversation gets deep. You spent so long avoiding connection that you forgot how to connect. You became a robot, functional, productive, dead inside. So accept the invitation. And when the urge to cancel comes, and it will come, take a deep breath and go anyway. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to result in a relationship. It doesn't have to be the love of your life. It just needs to happen. Because every time you say yes, when fear screams no, you break a piece of the prison. Every time you show up, vulnerable, imperfect, you get closer to who you should be. Fourth action, forgive those who hurt you. Not for them, for you. Because as long as you carry anger toward those who rejected you, who abandoned you, who taught you that love hurts, you'll never be able to truly love. Forgiving isn't saying it was all okay. It's saying, you don't control my life anymore. It's cutting the invisible thread that ties you to the past. It's choosing freedom. And the last action, the hardest one, accept that you will fail, that you will make mistakes, that maybe you'll love someone, and it won't work out. And that's okay, because trying and failing is better than never trying, because feeling and suffering is better than never feeling, because truly living, even with pain, is better than surviving in the illusion of control. God didn't promise it would be easy. He promised it would be worth it, that He would be with you, that in the end, you would understand. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for the perfect person. Stop waiting to be ready, because you never will be, and that's okay. God doesn't expect perfection. He expects courage. The courage to leave the prison you built yourself. You're alone again, but this time it's different, because now you know. You know that loneliness doesn't protect you. It kills you. You spent years building walls, locking doors, running from any chance to feel, and you called it strength. But today, you understand. It wasn't strength. It was disguised fear. Fear of being vulnerable, of needing, of living. Napoleon Hill was right. What you fear, you attract. You were so afraid of losing that you never let anything begin, and you lost anyway. Years, connections, life. But it's not too late. It's never too late. Because God didn't give you a spirit of cowardice. He gave you power, love, and self-control. And He's waiting for you to use it, waiting for you to choose to live. Love isn't a guarantee of happiness, but it's a guarantee of life, of feeling, of pulsing, of being present. And that's everything. So stop waiting, stop planning, stop protecting yourself, and live. Fail, cry, laugh, love, break, rise, try again. Because at the end of life, you won't regret what you felt. You'll regret what you didn't feel. The doors you didn't open, the chances you didn't take, the people you pushed away out of fear. You've never loved anyone, but there's still time. God hasn't given up on you, so don't give up on yourself either. Because the greatest fear of those who've never loved isn't loving and losing. It's reaching the end and realizing you never lived. And you deserve to live. If this message made sense to you, subscribe to our channel. Here, every story reveals why you suffer and what God is teaching you through it. Psychology to understand yourself, spirituality to understand the why. And for you who made it to the end of this video, write in the comments, "I choose to live." God will honor that declaration. He'll give you the courage you need. And when you least expect it, life will knock on your door again. This time, you'll open it.